Rookie of the Year, Carl Gehring, and the WCHA Player of the Year, Curtis Murphy. They want to take the bark out of the Huskies and begin their quest for the Broadmoor Trophy. Welcome to the 1998 WCHA NSP Final Five, live from the Bradley Center in Milwaukee. The matchup in this semifinal game, St. Cloud State against the reigning regular season champs, the Fighting Sioux from North Dakota. Hello again, everyone. Along with Tom Reed, I'm Frank Mazzacco. Quite a night and quite a turnaround for the Huskies. Victorious in overtime last night, Tom. Very few hours in between games, and right now they've got to go against the league champs.
Frank, they do. That's the problem when you wind up having to play that game on Thursday night. But right now they have to bounce back. They won last night's game. They need to come back here, as you mentioned. Not a lot of time between these two games, but they have to be ready from the beginning.
And a big goal by a very typical player for the Huskies, Matt Bailey, a third-line winger. And very typical of this team, too. Unheralded they are.
They certainly are, Frank. You don't see a lot of superstars in this team, but when you look at this team, a good makeup of character within the ranks. And Coach Craig Dahl has got to be happy with what he has right now. The fact that he's gotten to this point has got to be pleasing to him.
Ryan Lefevre will get us up to date on the two goaltenders, two award winners, and arguably the two best goaltenders in the league.
All right, Frank, thanks a lot, and it should be a great goaltending matchup. We have a senior for St. Cloud State in Brian Lietza and a freshman in Carl Gehring for the University of North Dakota. Now, Lietza undoubtedly is the emotional leader of this team, and certainly his play on the ice gives his team a spark, has a flair for the dramatic, a number of spectacular saves this season, and in particular last night. As for Gehring, as a freshman, he led the WCHA in all the conference stats, the main conference stats, wins, goals against average, save percentages. He was the freshman of the year in the WCHA. Gehring, first team All-WCHA. Lietza, second team All-WCHA. They'll never face each other one-on-one tonight, but this will be a goaltender showdown. When we come back, we'll drop the puck, our first of two semifinal games today from the Bradley Center in Milwaukee. The University of North Dakota and the St. Cloud State Huskies are up next.
To the Bradley Center, downtown Milwaukee, a beautiful building for hockey, and we should have a fairly interesting matchup. These two teams have split their season series over each of the last 2 years. Let's take a look at those two top goaltenders once again, and we will start with Brian Lietza, who is huddled with his Huskies, as well as Carl Gehring, the Wunder Kid.
Boy, is he ever, Frank. You look just a freshman, but the size of him, 5'7", 150 pounds. I wonder where the rest of him is right now, but I tell you, what a goaltender he has been for this team. He's got a good team in front of him, as we've said before, the 1998 WCHA Rookie of the Year on the first team. He just continued to shine. Brian Lietza came up big last night, stopping 45 out of 48 saves. And I'll tell you, the Bulldogs had some great opportunities, but he was able to stymie them for a lot of those and winning in that overtime victory against the Bulldogs. He also is on the All-WCHA second team, and the senior out at Lake Villa, Illinois, would like nothing better to bring his team to 3 games in 3 days. These guys have got to be tired, though. Coming back here to play in the afternoon game after playing last night is very, very difficult.
All right, they will start, the Huskies will, with Jason Stewart at center, George Awada on the left, and Ryan Frisch on the right, and we are underway. The Fighting Sioux counter with a line centered by Jason Blake, Brad Defoe, and Lee Gorin. And you will find North Dakota among its key elements of depth. They are very strong at center. Jason Blake, number 5, is on the ice now. Just a third-line center. On a lot of clubs, he would be a first-line center. And here he comes to center. Brad Defoe reaches back for the puck. He'll have to go back and control it, and he slips it in. Tom Lund for St. Cloud has some trouble with it. Here's Blake again, and they roll it in deep. And Kyle McLaughlin, the defenseman, shoots it around. Now it's jammed by Ryan Frisch. He gets a second opportunity. Skips it to center. It takes a bounce and a breakaway for George Awada. And the first shot on goal of the game is right on. And a relatively easy save for Gehring.
Well, Awada took that puck. Curtis Murphy tried to get control of the puck in the neutral ice area, but it bounced over his glove. And Awada, who was camped in beyond him by about 25 feet, just took the pass and went take the shot. But it looked like, to me, like he ran into the goaltender here too, and I don't know if he had to do that. right here he comes in behind. That isn't necessary. He took the shot. No one was in behind him. And he goes in here, and you can see the little jostling going on. No penalties on the play. He did not have the speed there to move in, and he had to release a shot quickly to get it going. There's a look at Mike Schmidt, the referee, who's trying to get things underway here. Bill Mason and Mike Riley are the assistant referees. There's Mike Riley. And Bill Mason is the brother of Bob Mason, the goaltending volunteer coach at the University of Minnesota.
Jason Stewart is in for the face-off. The puck is controlled by the Fighting Sioux, and back behind the net is taken by Brad Williamson, who tries to work it up on the near side. Stewart is there battling. Andy Bakari trying to keep it in at the point, got it into Stewart, and now they work it down low. And back Ryan Frisch leaves it back in the corner for Owada again, but he can't handle it, and Williamson shoots it around. Puck sneaks out of the zone and deep into St. Cloud territory. Goulet back to pick it up. Jason Goulet, number 19, had one of the key goals in the game last night. The first one, which gave the Huskies the 1-0 lead. They beat Minnesota Duluth 4-3 in overtime. Now here's a pass that skips off the skates of Matt Henderson. And Josh DeWolf is there to play it around for St. Cloud State. We're just underway, about 1 minute and 40 seconds into this semifinal game. No score between St. Cloud and North Dakota. Now a lockup in the corner as DeWolf goes in there with Jay Panzer. He's got some pretty good career numbers against the Huskies. Quick centering pass comes all the way through. Matt Noga over to pick it up. He drops it back. This is Panzer centering, and his brother chipped at it and just deflected wide of the target. Now Curtis Murphy with a shot. That's broken up high in the slot and rushed to center by Jason Goulet. He is forced outside by Vig, but he beats it. His backhand is stopped by Gehring, and he holds on. Mitch Vig will not get beaten very often on the defense, but Goulet just turned him around and got a great scoring opportunity.
It really was, Frank, and the thing is he took that puck all the way from the opposite end. You can see him going around Vig here, using his body well to protect that puck. Comes in on the backhand. Gehring is deep in the net here also. Gives a little bit better shooting angle perhaps to Goulet, but Gehring is able to follow the puck all the way across, keeping that shooter in mind where he wanted to go with it. Kind of a conservative game at times here. A little bit, seems to be a little bit choppy right now between both teams. Only 2 shots on net, both of those by the Huskies.
From the face-off, the puck comes to the near side. Ryan Frisch. They'll make that Andy Bakari, who works it in deep. Now Brandon Sampere went after it, back behind the net. A big scrap. Here's Sampere to pick it up in just his freshman year. Didn't play in last night's game, but he has been inserted in the lineup. Shallow angle shot by Mike Commodore comes all the way through, and it's batted to center ice with a hand by Peter Armbrush. Now the Huskies in their own end nearly muscled off the puck, but Sampere coming back to help out is able to pick it up. From the blue line, Jesse Bull shoots it in, but apparently it came out of the zone and it was brought back in offside. No score at the Bradley Center. Some good wheels going here early in the game, Tom.
Yeah, there are. The one thing that North Dakota's got is they have got some speed here, Frank, and this is where the Huskies really need to play physical when they get the chance. Try and slow them down a little bit.
Kyle McLaughlin with the puck gets it out to center ice, and from center, Mike Maristoon drives it in. Back behind the net, Trevor Hammer, one of the outstanding freshmen in the league, and it's played out to center again, and Maristoon will flip it back to the blue line. Now out to center ice where Lee Gorn is dropped to the ice. McLaughlin gets the puck ahead, broken up by Hammer, and now it's brought in by Gorn. Right wing shot. Leitza had a little trouble with it, but deflects it to a harmless spot on the ice. Defoe reaching, or Williamson reaching for it. It's brought in by Bailey. Bailey in the slot, then will dump it in deeper. And here's Williamson to pick it up again, and the Huskies want to make a line change. They better hurry. Blake in traffic, catches the pass, gets it into the zone. Doran centers it to Defoe, and Leitza makes another save. Here's Blake behind the net centering it. Hammer trying to pinch in to keep it alive, but it comes back out to center ice anyway. Williamson now at the 4-minute mark of the period dumps it in. And it's picked up on the near side by Goulet. Make that Jason Stewart. He'll shoot from center, and that hit big, the captain of the team. Adam Calder in the corner is tied up. And it's played back to the point where there's a long shot from DeWolf that hits the side of the net. It'll be grabbed again now by Curtis Murphy. He's hit to the rail pretty hard, and Gino Parrish for the Huskies turns it right back in. Pretty evenly matched teams at this stage of the game. The Huskies finished 4th in the WCHA. The North Dakota Fighting Sioux on top of the league, and they won it by a couple of weeks. From center, it's dumped to the line and intercepted by Murphy over to his partner Vig. And Vig tried to get it out, but it was blocked by Noga. Very good forecheck right now by the Huskies, and they're offside, however, as that puck was out back in and Noga had not properly touched up. Let's take a look at our important factors in this game, the New Dodge Challenge.
Well, first of all, you look at the Huskies, they really have to keep in stride here. They split during the regular season with the Fighting Sioux in a 2-2 series, but right now they've got to be a little bit tired, but they can't let that be a part of an excuse. They have to step up here and play physical as much as they can. They have to stay on the ice. In yesterday's game, they took the first 4 penalties. Coach Craig Dahl knows his team is tired. They don't want to have to play shorthanded. The other side of the coin with North Dakota has to play their own game. This is a team that are national champions. They were #1 in the WCHA this year and last year, and they have to play their game. They can't worry about what the Huskies are going to do. The other part of that is they have to use their speed. They have got that up front, Frank. They've got a lot of firepower with this club, but they do it by skating and moving the puck. And that's one thing that their coach would like nothing better than to do that, and that's Coach Dean Blaze, who is pretty happy with what he's seen with this club over the last few years.
Graduate of the University of Minnesota with a master's degree from UND. And he has become a real hero to this team. As they drive it in, Goulet takes it behind the net, gives it to Noga. He was upended. And it's dug out of the corner once more by Mike Rusinski, but finally flipped out to center ice. And here's Dave Hoogstein on a 3-game scoring streak. He tried to move it in, and then it was stripped from him. A long shot by Jeff Panzer, the rebound by Jay Panzer, and Rusinski gets the loose puck and drives it out of the zone. North Dakota getting a fair number of good chances on Litsa, but no real good rebound chances as of yet. Here's Hoogstein darting ahead, trying to work his way in over the line. It comes back to Jeff Panzer. He turns and shoots. Litsa makes the save, had trouble with the rebound. Here's a shot that hits the outside of the post. And play is called by the referee, Mike Schmidt, as Litsa, in a scramble, finally covers the puck and holds on to keep this game scoreless.
Well, that's one advantage that the Fighting Sioux have got, Frank. They are able to move their legs pretty quickly. You'll watch here as the play gets going. It's going to go off in the corner here in just a second. There's the initial shot. You can see the referee, Litsa, moving it off to the side. But you notice how he gets knocked down. Look at his position now. And there's a puck coming off the post and finally bounces over to him where he can get a piece of it.
Coaches bringing their 4th lines out. Wes Dory and company for the Fighting Sioux. Rushes it to the net and they score. Got some help from Peter Armbrust. I'm not sure who had the last whack at it. Armbrust coming in after the face-off, and North Dakota on a scrambling goal right from a face-off. They've taken a 1-0 lead.
Well, we talk about face-offs, especially in the defensive zone. If you don't win them, bad things can happen to you. And you're going to watch right now the face-off. There's a shot. Litsa lost it. It hit him in the pad. And all of a sudden, he was waiting to see what happened here. And I believe it was going to be Armbrust that gets credit for the goal. We'll wait for the official score. But when the shot came, it was lodged in his pad for a second, then dropped down. And you can see Armbrust coming in here. Remember, he scored a big goal last year.
Indeed, he did in the Final Five, which lifted them to victory over Minnesota in overtime. And Josh DeWolf back behind the net, gets it over to Brandon Sampere. And the Fighting Sioux grabbed the early goal and some control of this game at 5 minutes and 54 seconds of the period. Now it's played in deeper by Ryan Frisch, and back to get it is Murphy. Over to Bull. And Bull's pass goes off a skate. It's loose back at the line. Brought ahead by Curtis Murphy. He sees that the zone is full and waits for it to clear of North Dakota players before dumping it in. And does the same thing a second time. DeWolf after it. Apparently he didn't wait long enough. Bill Mason calls the delayed offside against North Dakota. So the goal at 5:54 gives the Fighting Sioux a 1-0 lead. Welcome back to this semifinal game. The winner between St. Cloud and North Dakota will take on the winner of tonight's second semifinal game, either Wisconsin or Colorado College. And of course, we'll have that action for you as well right here on MSC. Brad DeFaw goes cross-rink. Lee Gorn with a centering pass, but it's behind Jason Blake. He whips it towards the front of the net, but it's intercepted. Now taken away by Mike Maristoon. Plays it out at center ice. One near 2-on-1 there, but Williamson broke it up. And now it's relayed in over the line by Bailey. Maristoon brings it in again, and they keep running right into Brad Williamson, and he shuts him down. Back out at center, Maristoon. And he dumps it into the left wing corner. And the first man of the puck is Trevor Hammer. He's a freshman from northern Minnesota out of Roseau. And yet another stoppage of play as we've hit about 7.5 minutes here in the first period. A lot of awards handed out to these two schools, particularly the Fighting Sioux, Tom.
Well, and deservedly so, Frank. You look at the WCHA this year, Curtis Murphy, who is one of my favorites as a defenseman, the player of the year. 2 years in a row. Mike Crowley with the Gophers last year as a defenseman also won that award. So they're looking at the defensive part of the game. Student Athlete of the Year, Mitch Vig from North Dakota. The Co-Defensive Player of the Year, Matt Henderson from North Dakota, along with Andy Sutton from Michigan Tech. And this team just continues to shine. And it shows, I think, the leadership also, Frank. We talked about this before with the coaching staff and everybody concerned with this club. They really have great chemistry on the ice, and that's reflective of what happens off the ice, too.
Right. And that was part of Mitch Vig's acceptance speech, if you will. As he says, Dean Blaze emphasizes so much what we do off the ice, in particular in the classroom, and then we just bring it right back onto the ice as teammates. Long shot from Hammer. That's blocked away by Litza, and it's back out at center ice. 8 minutes into the game, and a 1-0 lead for North Dakota. Litza leaves it back behind the net, and the outlet pass way back to center ice for Owada. Now to Goulet. Goulet brings it in, but he hesitated at the line. The Huskies really wanted to make a line change there, and they got themselves all knotted up and offside at the blue line.
Well, a couple of more awards that we didn't get to yet, but it's going to be Carl Gehring, who was the Rookie of the Year for North Dakota as a goaltender, and what a great find he has been for Coach Craig Dahl, for Dean Blaze, and Craig Dahl being the Coach of the Year, and there he is right there. He took a team that was supposed to be in 7th place this year and brought him up to the top group to have an outstanding year, although he lost a couple of key players, and he's got to be happy with what has happened with his overall play of his team.
Absolutely. This has really been, it's not a star-studded lineup for the Huskies. They have done it with a lot of teamwork and team grit. Bouncing puck to Hoogstein. He tried to whack at it, but it bounced once too hard. And then DeWolf was just blasted by Jeff Panzer. Now in the slot, and it's cleared right back out at center ice. And Murphy to get it. He is tied up and brought down by Noga. And puck loose in the corner. Vig comes in to throw a check. And Jeff Panzer in the corner. Finally, Vig will get control to Hoogstein. He's smashed by Gino Parrish, and DeWolf has a little trouble with the puck back in his own end. Now Vig launching it in, and North Dakota will change up here on the fly. Parrish relays it to center. Samper dumps it in deep, and a race for the puck as Armbrust tried to throw the check, but he got the worst of that one. Not sure who it was that took him off his feet. Mike Commodore really has the size and the leverage and just sent him back. Commodore again back behind the net. He's 6'4" and 225, and he leads the pass to center. Bull flying in on that 3-on-2 break-up ice, and Litza right there to make the save and cover it under the pads as we come up on the halfway point of period 1.
So Jesse Ball coming down here, trying to get around Vakari. He's coming down the off wing there, and you can see Leach also going out, able to make the save and hang on to it.
The Panzer line is out for the Fighting Sioux. Brothers Jeff and Jay, both from Grand Forks, and Dave Hoogstein, the left winger from Thunder Bay, Ontario. In the corner, Trevor Hammer takes a hit, and it's loose behind the net to Rich Anderson. He tries to center it. That's broken up. Brad Williamson got a piece of it, but not enough to control. I believe I called him Rich Anderson. It is Keith Anderson for the Husky, and now slowly called icing here against the Fighting Sioux. And Ryan Lefevre is standing by at ice level.
Frank and Tom, who was the hero in the locker room today before the game? You'd assume it was Matt Bailey, who had the overtime goal for the Huskies to beat University of Minnesota Duluth last night. Well, Bailey not necessarily was the hero for St. Cloud State. It's the trainer, Carol Young, who you're looking at here. For some reason, she pointed at Matt Bailey before the team took the ice in the overtime period and said, "Matt, you will score the game-winning goal." And he did. And as you might imagine today, Frank and Tom, every team just kind of casually walked by Carol today, hoping she might have some words of wisdom for him.
I'm going to give her some money and have her give me some lottery tickets. That's what I'm going to do.
A great yarn.
That's great. You know, you look at North Dakota, and they are so balanced in scoring, Frank. You look at their top line, they have 117 points. Their second line is 88 points. Their third line, 82 points. And their fourth line, who contributed the only goal of this game so far, have got 55 points. And that's a tremendous amount of goals and assists, 342 total, compared to the Huskies of St. Cloud State, who had 225, and so that tells you that this team is more than capable of putting that puck in the net. Right now, the Huskies have done a pretty good job of containing the Fighting Sioux. They've not allowed them to really skate. They're trying to force the play in that offensive zone. They're staying really on top of them, and they have not had a lot of shots, but they haven't given up a lot of quality shots either.
50 points from the fourth line.
Yeah.
That's scary. Matt Bailey sends it to the side of the net. Here's a chance in close for Maristoon, and a big save by Carl Gehring. Ever so cool in just his freshman year.
You're going to see Maristoon take the shot, but you're also going to see Matt Bailey, who's kind of hanging him back a little bit too, waiting for that puck to come out to him. Watch number 10. Here's the play coming out. Maristoon gets himself in front, plants himself well, and look at Bailey here looking for that puck. He thought it was going to sneak out on the other side, but all of a sudden the defenseman Trevor Hammer got a piece of it with his skate and took it back into the goaltender.
Mike Maristoon's line remains out. He wins the draw. Bailey fanned on the shot. Vig pops it off the boards to get it to center, and St. Cloud will regroup at their own line. Maristoon relays it to Bailey. Bailey can't get in past Vig, and the puck in the air at center. Back to Maristoon. He drives it in, and Murphy from the side of his own net. St. Cloud making a change on the fly, played up off the near rail. It'll come in on Litsa, so there's no icing, and he leaves it for number 25, Tom Lund. Maristoon in after a loose puck, and he collides there with Blake. George Owada with a nice little pass to spring Bailey. It's brought in, a long shot. Make that Ryan Frisch, who came flying in after the nice outlet pass from Owada. And now play jammed up back behind the net, and Mike Schmidt there to call it, and we'll have a stoppage.
Well, we talked about Matt Bailey last night winning that game, and after he scored, he went right back over to Carol to say to her, you know, you were right. I'm the guy.
So, and she said, "Oh, did I say that to you?"
Yeah, I think she pointed at everybody is what she did.
Inspirational. And now they're going to toss one of the players from the faceoff. Matt Noga waved out of there. Mike Rusinski, a sophomore, will be coming in. Rusinski also from Grand Forks. Rhino, you're still at ice level.
Frank and Tom, Carol also said that Tom was going to be buying dinner after tonight's game, so I don't know if that applies as well.
Then she's 50% right, hasn't right? 1 for 2 is not bad.
We lost a puck. We'll have a face-off coming up back out at center ice. We have 8:19 to go in period 1, and Peter Armbrust's goal is the only one of the game thus far. There you're looking at Josh DeWolf. He made third team all WCHA. He is just a sophomore.
Good year for this youngster. Also,
yeah.
Some pretty good size at 6'2", 195 pounds, and picked up 9 goals, and he's picked up 9 assists on the season.
You know, he went down with an injury late in the season, and there were a lot of concerned folks in the St. Cloud area and on campus there. He is arguably their best defenseman.
Yep.
We'll take a break here at the Bradley Center and the NSP WCHA Final Five.
State Huskies. North Dakota leading by a score of 1-0 with just a little over 8 minutes to go in the first period.
Mitch Vig to flip the puck out at center ice in a traffic jam. Is pushed ahead by Hoogstein. He brings it in. He shoots one, and it's turned away by Litsa. David Hoogstein has got some explosive speed and is looking for his 20th goal of the year. Now it's offside as it's touched there by Matt Noga. And we have had an awful lot of whistles here in the first period of play. The Greater Twin Cities Toyota dealers bring you this afternoon's trivia question.
Well, this will be a good one. Who were the 3 All-Americans on the 1987 NCAA championship team for North Dakota? 1987.
Goes back there about
just a little
11 years, doesn't it? Yeah. All right, I got one. How many did we need? One?
Well, you get
3.
one, that's like a bonus. We only need 3.
Brandon Samper back to pick it up. And he circles the net. Runs into a crowd. Played back by Armbrust. And out of the little scrap, it's quickly centered by Armbrust. But hit a skate. Knocked down at center ice by Williamson. Boy, he's been really involved in the play. Williamson has here in the first period. There's not much getting by him. And out at center ice, Rob Klasnick gets to some open territory, tries to shoot from his knees, and Armbrust has the puck back behind the net. That's that effort you see there from Rob Klasnick is pretty much the hallmark of the Husky team. They will battle and keep coming. Now it's flipped out at center ice and shot right back in by Tom Lund. And brought ahead now. A little drop pass for Bull, and he rolls it into the slot before it's cleared back out at center. Now Jason Stewart bringing it in. And tell you, the coverage has also been very good. North Dakota finding ways to get 2 guys everywhere the puck is. Now Henderson with a drop pass. Adam Calder, the center iceman on this line, races it in, takes the hit from Lund, moves in for a shot. Lund comes back to trip him up, and he's going to go. And it took that much effort for Lund to get Calder off the puck. Well, and it'll result in a power play.
It was a pair of 25s coming together. As you mentioned, Tom Lund, the defenseman out of Ward Road, Minnesota, will be called. I don't know if he's going to call him tripping or hooking, but it's going to be one of them. You'll see here in the left of your screen right now as he just pulls down Adam Calder, who tried to make the little turnaround there. So it will be a tripping call coming at 13:51 of the first period, and Coach Craig Dahl looking on and saying, well, our guys stayed out of the punting box at this point, but they have played a pretty solid first period also, containing the Fighting Sioux.
Fighting Sioux will get their power play underway here, and as potent as this team has been offensively, that hasn't necessarily carried right over to the power play, where they finished only in the middle of the pack in the WCHA, ranked 6th on the manpower advantage. You look there, even at that 20%, those are games overall. The lower ranking comes in conference games only. And the penalty kill for St. Cloud State, a very good 86%. Now Blake in the corner. Curtis Murphy fans on it. And it's played in deeper by Jeff Panzer.
Easy.
Jay Panzer after it. He's jammed to the rail by DeWolf. Jeff tries to block it at the line. Bailey gets in the way. Jeff Panzer played it in deeper, but then it's shot out.
The Fighting Sioux power play has not been the best all season long. They'd like it to be, but last weekend against Mankato State, they got it working pretty well, getting 6 goals in 14 opportunities. So they seem to be in a roll against the Huskies.
But they had gone the previous 4 games without a power play goal, and here they're offside as they bring it in. We have about 5 minutes left in the period and 53 seconds left on the penalty to Lund.
Well, right now they're not skating as well on this power play as I think that Coach Dean Blaze would like them to be. They kind of be looking just a little bit, and you see questioning the linesman right now is one of the reasons Jeff Ulmer looking at him saying, you know, who was offside? Where was it, me? Was I offside? But call being made, but they've got to pick up their speed here and control the puck a little bit more in that offensive end.
I don't know that they've had a shot on goal on the power play yet.
No, they haven't.
There's only 40 seconds left. Henderson's pass, that's picked off at center, and Noga just finds an opening, slides the puck down as slowly as he can. And here's Williamson. Noga in on a little court check pressure. Dory at center. Goes cross rink, and it's off the skates of Calder and deep in the zone. Henderson goes after Bakari, and then Henderson is tied up by Brian Gaffney. Up the middle, here's Ulmer. His shot is deflected and just wide of the net. Henderson, I think, got his stick on it, but the puck went into the corner. Calder about to step out of the box, and it's shot one more time down the rink.
Yeah, that was Brian Gaffney. He just took a look and just got his big frame into it. It's 6'5", 210 pounds.
No shots on goal on that manpower advantage. The first for either team in the game. And stripped of his stick at center ice, Murphy finally did a little ballet dance to kick it into the zone. Now Armbrust backhands it in, but right onto the stick of Parrish. And it's back out to center and Murphy. And the Fighting Sioux, I sense a little frustration as they're just kind of whacking it into the zone. And with a little bit of trouble in front of the net, the delayed offside whistle finally goes with 3.5 to go here at the Bradley Center. Back to the Bradley Center, where North Dakota has the only goal of this game, 1-0. And back to Curtis Murphy at center ice, pressured by Noga, over to Vig. Hoffman is there to break it up. And a little play between the blue lines. Bull played it ahead, but not hard enough. Murphy weaves his way back in, gets the return pass, and deflects it just wide. Armbrust fed him beautifully. Relayed off the rail, and it's back out at center. Armbrust stands up again and knocks the puck back down the rink, and there'll be no icing or offside here. Lund from behind the net. McLaughlin. And Big ties up his man. Now Bull hit out at center, and Lund back to get it. McLaughlin again to Rasinski. Williamson is on him, and that forces the turnover as Hoogstein comes back for the puck. Dave's older brother Keith, a former Fighting Sioux player. Williamson might have too many men on the ice when you hear the fans crying that long and nothing really happening. It was coming from the North Dakota corner.
Well, I believe that's what the call is going to be, Frank, but somebody scrambled back to the bench pretty quick on both teams. I'm not sure the players realized what was going on.
And indeed, it will be on the Fighting Sioux, their first penalty of the game. A bench minor. 17:24 is the time.
Well,
Brad DeFaw will serve it.
Yeah, right now, the Huskies have got to be pleased with what they're seeing in this first period. I know they trail by a score of 1-0, but they are playing as if they are not tired. Fighting Sioux have not been skating in this first period.
No.
They've outshot their opponents 11-4, but we don't see the jump or the speed that we've normally seen with this club all season long, and that's to the Huskies' advantage also. They're playing the body, they're sending those guys in, two guys in, one guy back. They're doing a strong forecheck there, and they're not allowing any movement out there, any freedom for the Fighting Sioux to get moving.
Bouncing puck in the slot is finally brought ahead. 2-on-1. Calder and Henderson. Calder waiting, wrist shot, looking for the 5-0. Lisa's looking for the puck. And with the puck still loose, the whistle goes.
Boy, Lisa was looking behind there, and you could see them breaking out there. Calder coming down that left wing position, trying to get the shot to the net. On 2-on-1 like that, you hope to get the shot away. You're looking to make a pass, but you see the defenseman having a stick in position to take that pass away. See the 5-hole? It was open there. All of a sudden, Lisa brought the pads together. He got just enough of it the last second, was able to drop that puck right down in front of him. He wasn't quite sure who it was either, but has that big stick to pull it inside.
From the face-off, they're going to wave this one off. Right from the face-off again, North Dakota made a dart for the net, but I'm wondering if perhaps someone was either in the crease too soon or lined up improperly. The referee, Mike Schmidt, says he wants to go upstairs to the replay judge. Here's a look again, Tom.
Watch right here. Is it going to be kicked in? That's my question, whether it's... Yep, couldn't see from that angle here.
The referee, and only the referee, has the option of asking the replay judge to take a look.
He's looking for the high stick here. Watch right here. Let's see what the level of it is. He hits right there. Boy, I don't know if it was a high stick or
Boy,
not, but
I
he
don't-
will check upstairs. It's extended when you're up high, because sometimes the depth of perception is a little bit different. And they will review it. Mike Schmidt calling upstairs, and Don Adam is the referee who is in the booth next to us, and he is reviewing the play as well on the replay. And so we'll get a ruling on that. And in the playoffs, they go to the opportunity to show this, and we'll see if it will be called as a high stick. They do have it on the monitor, the big scoreboard here showing it.
Well, of course,
And some are saying yes, and some are saying no. Take a look at it. See what it cannot be more than the height of the crossbar, 4 feet. And that's the question right now. Is it higher than that? In my own mind, I would say no. I would say it's low.
I would say it's low there too.
Now we'll see what the officials say.
And again, Tom, your point well taken. When you have a camera angle up that high, it gets maybe a little more difficult to see, and that's why they're going to make sure before they make the call here.
Well, this is a big play, and they're ruling it no goal.
Wow.
Well, they just have to play through that. Right now, this may give a little more steam, perhaps, to the Fighting Sioux. At the same time, it helps the Huskies out. And Coach Dean Blaze is saying nothing. He said, "That's the call they make. Okay, guys, we live with that situation. We're still leading. Let's come back and see if we can put something else in the net."
And perhaps, if nothing else, Tom, key out of that is that Mike Schmidt was down at ice level and may have had the best look of all, but just wanted some reassurance too.
Well, he made the no goal call right away from his level, and usually the first reaction is usually the correct one. I don't care if you're a player or an official. First thing you see in your own mind is how you should react and stay with it. When you start to think about things is when you run into the problems.
Oh my goodness, we don't want to be thinking.
No, we don't.
Here's Calder shooting for the short side, and Lietza's there to stick it away. McCarty to play it behind the net. So with 98 seconds to go in the period, it is still a 1-0 lead for North Dakota over St. Cloud. Out to center ice, it's Goulet to bring it to the Fighting Sioux zone. Lost the puck, and Blake just drives it right back down, and Lietza has to not only play it, but save it. And from behind the net, they will come up again. By the way, this is a power play for St. Cloud State, with the Fighting Sioux serving a bench minor. There's about a half minute left in the penalty, and a little over a minute in the period. Parrish. And it's back out at center. The bench minor was for too many men on the ice. And now it'll be brought back in with under a minute to go. Shot in by Rosinski. And Stewart has a little trouble with it. And then it's driven out of the zone back to center ice. Here's Josh the Wolf, the defenseman, trying to race it in. Big takes the hit. The penalty is over. They're trying to flip it to Defoe, who was just out of the box. Trailing the play, Curtis Murphy shooting it in, or at least as far as the line. So the penalty killers in this game are doing great jobs. There have been 2 power play opportunities. There have been no shots on goal. Williamson. And he dumps it in as the seconds click away. Hookstein whacks it in front, and it'll be intercepted. The Wolf protects it, takes it behind the net, tried to find Bailey out at center, and the horn will bring this period of hockey to an end. So a goal and a non-goal, and it remains 1-0 after 20 minutes of play at the Bradley Center, and our intermission will be coming your way in just a moment. And Ryan Lefevre will be live just outside the dressing rooms to talk with Peter Armbrust of the Fighting Sioux. We'll also talk with the coach of the Fighting Sioux, Dean Blaze. Highlights and stats when we come back here on MSC, your college hockey connection.
Semifinals of the WCHA Final Five. North Dakota leading St. Cloud State after 1 period of play. Peter Armbrust, sophomore, scoring the goal for the Fighting Sioux. First of all, it's got to feel pretty good to be back in this building and back in the same locker room you were in last.
Yeah, it's bringing back a lot of memories after last year, the championship season and the Final Four here. And, we've had good luck in this building so far, and it's nice to be back here.
Feel pretty comfortable in your second playoffs? Because I remember last year you scored that big goal against the Gophers, and it seemed like you didn't really know what to do.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling a little more comfortable. That just came with the experience and the game time that I've had over the last 2 years, and the goal I had last year was a great bonus, and tonight, or this afternoon actually, but I don't even know what one is. Just kind of luck,
Pretty good first period too.
Yeah, it was a great first period. It was going back and forth a lot, and actually somehow dove and saw the puck laying there in front of Litsa, and just got a stick on it. Somehow it must have just rolled in there, luckily, but I'll take it.
You'd assume that St. Cloud might be a little bit more comfortable since they played on this surface last night. How was the first period, you think, with the flow of the game, you guys getting out there for the first time?
I think we started off well. We started off strong. The first couple shifts, they seemed to be outplaying us a little bit. They had a couple good opportunities right away, but then I think we kind of turned the tides a little bit, and we got a couple chances, and we ended up out shooting them by a couple. So, I think we're starting to pick it up here.
All right, very good. Good luck in the second.
Hey, thank you.
All right, Peter Armbrust giving the Fighting Sioux a 1-goal lead over St. Cloud State. When we come back, we'll hear from the Fighting Sioux head coach, Dean Blaze, when we return to the Bradley Center. Mission at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee. North Dakota 1, St. Cloud State nothing in the first of 2 semifinal games. Dean Blaze, the head coach of the Fighting Sioux, joins us live, and we just talked with Peter Armbrust, who gave your team a 1-goal lead. He had that big goal against the Gophers in the Final Five last year. Some guys just step up in big games.
Yeah, and Peter's got a way of scoring. He's scored on a lot of different ways, tip-ins, rebounds, deflections, and he's enough of a sniper that he wins showdown every once in a while, just him and the goaltender. So he certainly works hard game in and game out, and I was glad to see him get that first goal.
Happy with the first period?
Yeah, I think they only had a couple of quality chances. On the other hand, we had 14 shots on net, and that says a lot about the work ethic. The guys are mentally ready to go, and I hope we can only give others a tendency to be a little complacent. But in the last 2 weeks, we've been at home and have had good practices and get a chance to rest up a little bit to get ready for this.
Let's talk about the power play. You did very well against Mankato State, but before that, there were some troubles on the power play.
Yeah, there certainly was. We weren't very good at it, and it starts off just like you saw in that first period with a lost face-off, and then it takes you another 30, 40 seconds to enter the zone.
To tell whether St. Cloud is tired from last night's emotional game, but do you do anything as a coach? Can you do anything as a coach to force them maybe to exert a little more energy?
No, I think they play a good brand of hockey. They float people out in the neutral zone once in a while, and it's either 14 shots.
In Milwaukee, where the Fighting Sioux have a 1-0 lead over the Huskies from St. Cloud State. We've completed 1 period of play here in this semifinal game. Well, there was only 1 goal. Let's move right to the highlights and pick it up. From a face-off, Tom, we talked about how critical they are, particularly in the offensive or the defensive zone.
Well, they are, Frank, and you're going to see also Leach have some problems with this goal, too, because as he blocks a shot, he loses it momentarily. And all of a sudden, everyone just goes towards it. Armbrust doing the job of getting his 4th goal of the season at 5:54. Jesse Bull and Wes Dory, who comprise the other players on that 4th line for the Fighting Sioux, open the scoring here to make it 1-0 where we are right now.
All right, and here is the non-goal, if you will. Judge for yourself. It was hit with a high stick.
Well, Calder coming in here. You see him go for the net and see him knock the puck down there. And the referee, Mike Schmidt, checked with the replay people upstairs. Don Adam on that end of it says no goal. And you can see Mike Schmidt also right away ruled it as a no goal. From his angle, he has a better perspective of where the height of that puck at that point.
All right, here's the Grain Belt scoring summary with Armbrust getting his 4th of the year at 5 minutes 54 seconds. Jesse Bull and Les Dory both getting the assists on the play, and numbers through 20 minutes of play. I don't know that these numbers accurately reflect the play on the ice. I don't know that North Dakota had a 14-4 edge in that period.
Frank, they had the shots perhaps, but they weren't real quality shots, and I did not think that the Fighting Sioux played very well in that first period. They didn't seem to have the jump we normally see. The Huskies, on the other hand, coming back from that big overtime victory last night, have got to be somewhat tired, but they were not the ones who were lethargic on the ice. And right now, I think Coach Dean Blaze has got to say, guys, we got to pick up. We can't just sit back and think because we won the regular season that we're going to win this game. And the Huskies have other ideas in mind.
Oh, they do, and determination can carry a team in a long time and a long way. We'll be back with our second period face-off and see how long that way is for the Huskies after this timeout. WCHA Final Five on MSC.
Fighting Sioux need to do something to get on track here a little bit, but they've been held up pretty well by the Huskies, who have not allowed them to freewheel out there. And you'll watch when the Fighting Sioux do get the puck, they usually have one or two attackers on them right away, so they haven't had the opportunities really to spend a lot of time moving the puck around to make the passes or get the shots that they've been hoping to get in this first period.
Fighting Sioux have had the lead after one period of play 21 times this season. They have lost only one time in those 21. However, I'll bet you that there weren't very many periods when their lead after the first period was only one goal. A rather explosive team, which we should point out, and we'll show you a little bit later, the third period is their strongest. Now Curtis Murphy goes after the puck. And here's Blake behind his own net to Mitch Vig, and they relay it to center. Hit a body at the line there, and then finally it's sprung free to Blake, who breezes in. Blake's shot is off the skate of Tom Lund, and it bounces back into the corner. And that's Lee Gorn, the big freshman, trying to pry it out of there. Brought ahead now by McLaughlin. McLaughlin from center ice, driving it in. Loose puck to Awada quickly at the side of the net, but it hopped off his stick. Oh, DeWolf's shot caroms off the leg, just wide of the target. That may have hit Awada. And it's brought ahead now by Gorin, who gets it to center. Calder trying to bring it in over the line. The Fighting Sioux changing on the go. And here's Matt Henderson over to pick it up. Now Ulmer's shooting it around, and it's back on the near rail, where they grind it out again. And there's been a bit of a grinding hockey game. And a whistle. Too many men on the ice, perhaps, or did we have a couple of players engaged out at center? Well, it's a whistle blown by Riley, the back official.
Yeah, there's a couple of players in behind the play that have had their sticks up just a little bit. And it was going to be Rasinski for St. Cloud State, I believe. Well, they're going to call for too many ends. Rasinski started to come, then he went back, and that was the reason for it. He had to stick up the air. I think it was more in disgust than anything else, so it will be a bench minor. Both teams now have been guilty of having too many men on the ice in this game. And there's a look at Rasinski right now as he sits in the penalty box. 1:35 the time of this call against St. Cloud State.
And from the face-off, it's played back to the right point, where Matt Henderson rolls it in. Second power play of the game, as you see. And we've told you earlier that neither team has had a power play shot on goal. High slot, the chance there for Williamson was blocked. A good play by Goulet. Oh, and then Goulet with a big hit. He knocks Dory flying. And Henderson back after a loose puck in his own end, but it's picked off by DeWolf. Short-handed, they center it. And the puck skips through to the corner. We should mention, too, that St. Cloud State leads the WCHA in shorthanded goals scored. Out to center. Here's Calder. Brings it in. His pass took a hop on Dory, who has some trouble with it. DeWolf is pinned down, but he delivers the puck, and Goulet gets it out of the zone. From center ice, Henderson has to drive it in, and Litza puts it out to center ice again.
Leach initially was going to go behind the net with that puck, but then he spotted an opening, got it up high over top of everyone else, and just shoots it down the ice.
Now Murphy at center. Got it as far as the blue line. Then a second effort by Panzer may have gotten it in, but I think there was a teammate ahead of him, and so Riley calls the play here on the offside. 53 seconds remaining on that bench minor.
There's not been a lot of speed in this game at this point anyway. We've had some pretty good hitting right here. You can see all of a sudden, you know you're going to be hit, and you could see Wes Dory kind of looking up, knowing that someone was going to come and get a piece of him, and then finally looking back down again to see where that puck was.
They flip it in again. And Maristoon is jammed up in the corner. Actually, that's Brian Gaffney. Scrap for it on the rail. Murphy shooting. It gets to the Blake at the side. He centers it, and Litza makes a huge save on Hookstein.
Oh, that was a big save. Yeah, nice pass from in behind, right out in front of Huskies coming in there. Thought he had something going, and he almost did. Look at the pass here by Blake, right onto the stick. And Huskies coming in looking for the far side. Leitza able to get onto that and make the save. Huskies 4 game-winning goals on the year. All WCHA second team, and one of those players, not very big. 5'7", 140 pounds. But I'll tell you, he's 140 pounds of heart because he never stops moving.
Jay Panzer goes in for this face-off. The Fighting Sioux power play, about a half-minute remaining, but here come the Huskies. Owada slips it deep in the zone, and a little trouble there for Murphy, who takes a whack at the side of the net. Long pass out to center ice for Blake. He's got Panzer springing in. Jay Panzer will go after it deep now, centers it to Jeff. Hookstein instead has it. Back to the line. Here's a long blast by Panzer that goes wide. Another centering pass in front as Jay Panzer jams away at it. Now Blake over to pick up the puck as the penalty expires. And Jeff Panzer centers it, but it's taken away. Fighting Sioux with 2 shots on goal in this power play, but now St. Cloud has to ice it to relieve some of the pressure. The Huskies have yet to have a shot on goal in this period. Back in a moment.
14 remaining in the second period here. North Dakota 1 goal on 16 shots. St. Cloud has only registered 4 shots, those all in the first period. And no goals.
Armbrust at center ice, and now Gaffney goes after the puck. We've got a delayed penalty coming up on St. Cloud. And it might be Rob Klasnick for a check from behind.
Well, that's what the call is going to be, Frank. And this will put St. Cloud once again that shorthanded situation. The senior out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, skates to the penalty box right now. His team had just killed off a too many men situation, a bench penalty. And now they've got to do it again. And this is tough. Talked earlier about staying out of that penalty box because this team had a very tough game yesterday against UMD and defeating the Bulldogs in overtime. Right here is the check, center ice. And so the time of this penalty will be 3 minutes and 59 seconds.
Tom, one of your keys, part of the New Dodge Challenge, was for the Huskies to stay on the ice with the offense that North Dakota has. You don't want to give these guys too many power plays. Plus, as you mentioned, the fatigue factor.
Yeah, and that more so. I know.
Oh, here's Calder. Big block in front of the net by DeWolf.
Like, even more so, I know that North Dakota can score goals. They're not real adept. They have not been. Their power play has not been that great this year, but the St. Cloud State Huskies need to keep the players on the ice. They need to keep as much freshness as they can. This is very difficult for them. I think this is their 5th game in 8 days.
Right.
And so will be feeling the effects of that a little bit more.
Henderson shooting, big rebound, a goal! That puck was bubbling, and it took a couple of whacks before it went in. Well, it looks like Wes Story had the last whack at that puck after Leitza made a fine save. And that gives UND a 2-0 lead.
Here's a shot coming from the point. Nice and low also, but it's right on the target. Look at the bodies coming in here. Leitza makes a save, and Dory just bowls his way in there. He's able to keep the stick down below that crossbar and just attack it. And as the puck comes up right here, all of a sudden a little knock with the puck as he just makes sure it's going to go in the net. I'm not even sure it wasn't on the line before he may have touched it, but nonetheless, he will get credit for the 11th goal of his season and the goal that puts them ahead by a score of 2-0 on the power play.
Well, they scored twice, fairly early in the first, fairly early here in the second. And Dory has figured in on both of them. He had an assist on the first goal, and he scores this one to make it 2-0. Now here comes Jay Panzer to center. Little sweet pass, but it comes through. A backhand by Hookstein wide of the target. And Stewart tries to jam it out of there. Power play goal for Dory. And the Fighting Sioux are up by 2. Panzer and Hookstein both have to go back after the puck. This is Jay Panzer walking in for a shot, and that one hit the pads of Leitza. Now it's back out at center and dumped right back in. Fighting Sioux have to touch up here, and they do. Brought back in by Blake. Great pass. And Gorin is robbed by Leitza. Here's Gorn with the puck again. Tries to center it. That's broken up. Oh, and he's going to get a penalty. He hauled down Matt Noga. Got his stick caught up there. I don't think he really wanted to do that. He just wanted the puck. We will take a break. We're 5:44 into the second period in Milwaukee.
Nice play here by Jason Blake, the center iceman. He gets the puck over to his winger, Lee Gorn, coming in. Takes the shot. Good save by Litsa. And then you watch Gorn here. Tries to bring the puck back out in front. Moment later gets blocked and then just pulls down Noga. He goes to the penalty box. Time of that hooking penalty will be 5:44. St. Cloud State goes on their second power play opportunity.
Could use a goal pretty badly. And as a matter of fact, as we hit the 6-minute mark of the period, they could even use a shot on goal.
Yeah,
they don't have one in this period.
Yep.
Andy Vicari back in his own end. Watched by Matt Henderson. He circles ahead to Jason Goulet. And it's whacked to the line, but no further. Calder is there to knock it away. And he drives it all the way down the rink. And the Huskies will start to regroup. They scored their 26th power play goal of the season last night. Their leaders are Matt Noga and Mike Maristoon. Each have only 4. Back to the blue line. There's a shot by Gino Parrish. That's blocked by to center, where it's intercepted by Vicari. Does a nice job to stay onside. This is Mike Maristoon back to the blue line. A blast by DeWolf and off the stick of Gehring. Brusinski gets a piece of it. And they shoot it around the boards again to Maristoon. A shot, and we apparently have a man in the crease. And the Husky will have to, the face-off will come back out at center ice. So they're shooting themselves in the foot here.
Yeah, both Stewart
and Maristoon gets ready to face off against Calder. And it's back to Bailey at center ice. Throws it onto the far side. They drive it in. And out at center once more. It'll be Tom Lund to pick it up. Lund throwing it out across rink. The pass intended for Bailey. He chips it in the zone. The penalty to Gorn is over. Coming up on the 8-minute mark of period number 2. Long pass to center ice. That one skipped through Bailey, so there'll be no icing. And here's Maristoon to drop it back.
Boy.
And that was just a near fatal collision with Lund.
Lund got his head up just in time. Murphy was going to get a piece of him.
Now the Huskies trying to get control in their own end. Bailey gets it as far as center, and Murphy drives it right back in. Murphy, the WCHA Player of the Year. Here's Jay Panzer with a near interception. Then he takes Lund down. A long shot by Jeff Panzer. Jay ready to tee it up. And the puck comes free again. Noga fans on a pass. Finally whacks it ahead to get it in over the line. And it's a little bit of a problem there for Murphy. Jay Panzer to pick it up. Out at center, the Fighting Sioux with the lead 2-0. Slip it in. Litsa to play it away, but hands it away. And has to make the save on Jeff Panzer's shot from a very shallow angle. Now Jason Goulet racing it ahead. He runs into Mike O'Connell, number 6, the defenseman. And Hoogstein plays it ahead. This could be 2-on-1 with the Panzer boys. Oh, a nice play by DeWolf. Got that big reach out there. Now a loose puck comes to Bailey as Jay Panzer goes after him. And it's back at center. Tim O'Connell watching him, ties him up, chases him back outside. And it's lifted high in the air. Down on the dasher. And I guess it's offside, and both guys say, hey, it wasn't me, man.
This has not been a smooth period and a half of the game right now, and that's to the advantage of the Huskies, I think, is you all know that North Dakota's got a very smooth skating team. They've got a lot of speed here, but they have not been able to get really on track here. They're leading this game 2-0, but we don't see the same, I don't want to say effort, but the same smoothness that we've seen with this team so many times during the course of the WCHA season.
Carl Gehring came out there being challenged by Brandon Sampere and flipped the puck back out at center. As it's brought back in, it is an offside infraction.
And these whistles don't help either.
No.
The number of whistles that we're seeing right now. Carl Gehring had a little bit of experience in the USHL playing at Fargo Moorhead.
Bill Mason ready to drop the puck. And it's Dory against Klasnick, and Klasnick wins the faceoff. McLaughlin plays it in. Up on the far side, McLaughlin with a really uplifting check. He sent Jesse Bull down. Actually picked him up and put him down. Dory in for a hit in the corner. Keeps his man from the puck, that being Samper. And now McLaughlin plays it in deeper again. Samper centers it. And a nice play in front of the net by Williamson. There's Klasnick. Dory gets to it first, however. And Williamson now slow in getting up. We might have a slashing penalty coming up on the Huskies as Brad Williamson took a whack, we think.
It's going to be a slash. In fact, he even beat to the referee Mike Schmidt to the penalty box. He knew full well that he was going to take that. Williamson was brought down by Samper in that North Dakota zone, and so the slash coming at 10:19. Watch right here, right in front of the net.
Wow.
You can see it wasn't even within 15 feet of where that puck was. I think he thought that Williamson was going to get a piece of him, so he thought, well, I'll get to him first, which he does, but he also draws the attention of the referee.
The Fighting Sioux have scored 43 power play goals this year, and now 44 with the one by Dory in this period. And the Huskies are going to put themselves in bad trouble if they don't stay out of the box. Here's Panzer. Brings it across. Hookstein, a flash. Oh, that got past Litsa, but lucky for him, it went wide. They center it. Blake hits the post, then it goes in. The Fighting Sioux on the chip-in shot by Jason Blake have opened up a big 3-0 lead.
Boy, what a play by Jeff Panzer, though, as he had the puck on the far side, spotted Jason Blake, who's on that third line, and was able to take that puck. As you mentioned, Frank, just had to fine-tune it there. You can see Litsa makes a save. He wasn't quite sure it was, but it goes off to the side. You're going to see coming the right side of your screen right now. Blake comes around the net, gets in position, stick down the ice, and Panzer does a nice job of looking for him, not shooting at the goal, but looking for that player on his team who might be in the open, and that's exactly where Blake was. And that power play goal by Jason Blake will give him number 23 on the year. The first assist will go to number 17, Jeff Panzer. The other assist will go to the junior out of Thunder Bay, David Hookstein.
Blake, his 23rd goal. We told you a tremendous third-line center would be a great first-line center, really, but moves up on the power play and contributes there with Jeff Panzer and Hookstein, and it's a 3-0 game, and the Huskies are a little behind the 8 ball here. Gorin behind the St. Cloud net, centers it. And Litsa was lucky to get a piece of it. Gorin, a wraparound try. It's still free, and Awada is there to whack it away. Now Blake darts after it, but the first man of the puck is DeWolf, and did Blake punish him in the corner? Vig at the line, a shot that's blocked up, and he dumps it right back in. Here's Defoe. Blake at the side, centers it, no one's home. And the Huskies, to relieve some pressure, guided down the rink. Ryan Frisch cleared it down.
I think the Huskies are starting to run out of gas here a little bit. We mentioned before.
There's a score, 3-0, 2 goals by the Fighting Sioux here in the second period. They have both been power play goals, one by Dory, one by Blake. Armbrust scored at 5:54 of the first period, and that accounts for the 3-0 Fighting Sioux lead. Play is offside. Back at the blue line. 7 minutes, 42 seconds to go. In a very clean game. We have had only 6 penalties called in this game, and 2 of those were for too many men on the ice.
Here's a look at Mike Riley. He and Bill Mason and also Robin Anderson, 3 of the officials here, played together back in, what, 1989? Or 79 International Falls. Played in the same line, and they all realized that they didn't have the talent to be players, so they became officials instead.
Oh,
I'm going to hear about that one.
You love taking shots, don't you? Up on the far side, it's hustled to center by Bailey. Oh, there's going to be an interference penalty. It'll be offside at the blue line, but it doesn't matter because the interference happened prior to that.
Riley is the one who made the call. That was a good call. Noga's questioning the call, but a little checking from behind, but they will call interference. It's right at the blue line. Watch right here. There's a little push, a little check there, trying to pick him off to keep the puck moving to the opposite end, but good call by the official. And so once again, St. Cloud State, who has given up 2 goals to the North Dakota power play, will be shorthanded once again.
They absolutely have to kill this one off. Here's Panzer, and he shoots it around. Well, as a matter of fact, having said that, the next goal is vital to the outcome of this game. Hookstein breezing in, and takes a hit there from DeWolf. Josh DeWolf gets the puck and drills it down the rink. 7 minutes to go in the second period. And the Fighting Sioux, the defending champs, and now the reigning champs, as they won the regular season title, they have the power play. Brought in by Jeff Panzer, the drop to Jay, a big save, and a big collision in front of the net between Jay Panzer and Murphy. Now Litsa to cover up on a shallow angle shot.
Yeah, that's probably been
what a collision that was.
Yeah, probably the best check of the game so far, Frank, between the guys. And one of the guys may be a little bit colorblind here, but nonetheless, they went at each other pretty good. And you can see right now, feeling the effects of that is Jay Panzer, as he and Curtis Murphy coming in there, come pretty well together. Jay Panzer still on the
yeah, he may have gotten the worst of it.
Yeah, I think he did on that one. Murphy, a very, very solidly built defenseman, has some pretty good speed moving in there.
Still on the power play, and actually for the Huskies, shorthanded as Vicari shoots it out. And Henderson, and now 2 more Fighting Sioux collide. That time it was Dory and Henderson. Now Ulmer. And Ulmer runs right into George Iwata, but he battles to get the puck in the zone. Very good job by Jeff Ulmer from Saskatchewan. He's a junior. And the second line right winger. Right now, a part of the power play unit as Calder gets it back to Henderson, who fires. That was tipped just wide of the net. They drive it to the line. It takes a hop. It's out to Iwata. A short-handed breakaway. He's big on this. He is stoned there by Gehring. George Iwata, who once scored 3 short-handed goals in 1 game, and a great opportunity there. A blast from the point, a big save by Litsa, and bodies are flying in front of the net. Here's DeWolf to pick it up. DeWolf to the North Dakota line, carries it in, walking in, fired a high shot that was flicked away by Gehring and over the glass. Still another 8 seconds remaining on the penalty to Matt Noga.
Well, as you said, Frank, this team leads the WCHA this season with 11 shorthanded goals. Iwata with 3 in 1 game. Playing a little bit deep there, waiting for that puck to get to him. He comes in here. You can see Henderson trying to get to him, bothering him with the stick, but also at the same time, Carl Gehring going down to get his body in front of that puck as Iwata tries to just stick handle around him, looking for a little bit of an opening between the pads. None to be had. And so the score remains 3 for North Dakota and nothing for St. Cloud State.
Gehring watches the puck back behind the net. And here's Curtis Murphy with it. Nice pass, tape to Bull. Penalty to Noga is over. So the Husky penalty killers do weather the storm. It's still, however, a 3-0 lead. Fighting Sioux had 3 shots on goal on that manpower advantage. Samper plays it across. It's deflected. It's brought up ice by Lund. He flips it in right wing to Noga deep. Noga jammed up, knocked down back behind the net. And here's Klasnick, who takes a pretty good whack there from Bull. And it's loose at the side. It's centered right in front, and McLaughlin tried to shake his check to Faw. And finally the puck was cleared out. Lund pass nearly picked off. McLaughlin gets it again. From center, he dumps it in on Gehring. And Gehring leaves it for Murphy. Long pass to Lund at center. And now picked up by Jeff Panzer. Might be 3-on-2. Here's Armbrust centering it. That hit the skate of Lund. Lund battling for the puck. It comes free. And it's flipped to center and all the way down inadvertently by Rosinski. He was trying to get a pass out to center ice. Ryan Lefevre standing by at ice level.
Frank and Tom, I know you mentioned earlier that Mitch Vig, the captain of the Fighting Sioux, was the WCHA Student Athlete of the Year. Interesting story about his education. When he was a freshman, he came to the University of North Dakota hoping to go to med school afterwards and becoming a surgeon. But during that freshman year at practice, he suffered an arm injury where somebody skated over his right arm. severed his median nerve, radial artery, and some flexor tendons. I'll let Dr. Reed explain those in just a few moments. He was able to come back. It was a career-threatening injury, actually life-threatening at the time, but he's able to come back after learning how to write again, using eating utensils and holding a hockey stick. He had to learn all those motor skills again. Back out on the ice, still hopes to go to medical school. Playing pretty well for the Fighting Sioux, gentlemen.
Yeah, he really is, and he's been rock solid for this team. You look at the captains of teams, and those are the players that you earn that position. It's not something that's handed to you. You earn it because of the respect that your teammates have for you, the coaching staff, and what you bring as far as leadership on and off the ice. And it's pretty tough. And when you're the captain, you take things a little bit more seriously, perhaps, when your team is winning and losing. And what you can do as one of those players to bring things back into perspective.
And a look not only at Vig, but also at Andy Vicari, the captain of the St. Cloud State Huskies. 4:03 to go in the second period. This is the NSP WCHA Final Five.
Nothing to score. Shots right now by North Dakota, 29, and by St. Cloud State, just 11 through almost 2 periods of play.
Mike Rusinski digs in for this faceoff, but it was won by Jeff Panzer. Jay Panzer whacks at it. Williamson after the puck for the Fighting Sioux. And it's to Jay Panzer at center. 3-man rush. They bring it to the line. It's working in deep, but lost control of it. Hammer's centering pass goes all the way through. And a big hit thrown up on the far side by Jay Panzer. The Huskies back to center ice. There's a blind pass by Noga, finally brought in. A good reception on the far side. Rusinski's shot was deflected by Williamson high in the air, and the glove catch by Carl Gehring. Well, we told you about the big benefit coming up in the Twin Cities area for the young high school hockey player Holt Bennington, who was injured and paralyzed in an accident. He will be on hand. He will be dropping the puck for the benefit between team media and the Shakopee coaches. It'll be taking place at the Shakopee Community Center tomorrow at 6 o'clock. There's a website that you can go to for more information. You can also pick up tickets at $10 a piece in the Shakopee area at Marquette Bank, Valley Sports, and Say When Coffee Shop. And a big goal for George Owada.
It really was, Frank. He just planted himself in front of the net, took the perfect pass from in behind. And when you've got size like that, you've got to use it to your advantage. George Owada, 6'2", 200 pounds out of Mendota Heights, Minnesota, has some USHL experience playing for the Vulcans. But here's the play here. Stewart's going to pick up the puck in the corner. He's going to take a look. No place to go. All of a sudden, he spots Owada coming in there. And before anyone can get to Owada, he has got the stick down on the ice, and Ulmer trying to move in there. He wasn't quite quick enough, and he puts it away. And that's what they were looking for. They needed that next goal, and they have that one. They're on the scoreboard, scoring their first goal on their 12th shot of the contest.
So the 2 assists to Stewart and to Frisch at 16:38. And it gives the Huskies a huge sigh of relief here. Mike Maristoon after it. Warren again. Warren in deep. Here's Blake. Turns and dumps it in. 3 minutes to go in the second period. The Fighting Sioux with a 3-1 lead now. Vig. Long shot. That deflects into the corner. Blake tries to get it. Blake again. And he'll take it in deep. Now Defoe is jammed up, and the checking gets quite tight again. Murphy has shallow angle shot. Leitza with the save, and the puck is cleared back at center, and Vig will hustle after it.
Well, Leitza was in the right place there. Take that shot from Murphy from a bad angle, but he couldn't see the puck. Too many people in front of him.
Now up on the near side, Murphy again. Hookstein tries to center. It's right up the middle. Murphy a long shot. That skips wide of the net. Rusinski after it, but it's gloved there by Leitza, and he holds on. He wants to restore a little order in his end of the rink.
Well, he wasn't taking any chances because David Hookstein was also trying to get to that puck before Rusinski. And Leitza thought better of it and just thought, well, let's get a stoppage here and get some fresh players on the ice right now. As you look at Dave Hookstein and Brian Leitza also. Hookstein just a junior out of Thunder Bay. All-American player, and one of the gritty players on that left wing position for the Fighting Sioux.
Out at center ice, it's relayed ahead. George Awada got a piece of it at center. And it's loose now to Jay Panzer again. And they flip it in. Carried right back out. Awada make that perish as he shoots from the blue line. The offside whistle goes with 1:52 to go in the period.
Well, Stewart a little bit slowing in that shot away. He had both wingers offside. Awada breaking on the left wing position, trying to get to that puck. And on the other side, Ryan Frisch also was not able to hold his skate on the blue line.
Our intermission is not far away. And Ryan Lefevre will visit with the guy who scored the last goal of the game so far, George Awada. An interview with the referee-in-chief for the WCHA, Greg Shepard, will be back upstairs for highlights and some stats. Awada plays it behind the net. This is Stewart. Stewart whacks at it again. Huskies have been bothered by some injuries. Stewart, who just shoots the puck, and there's the only player on the team who have played in all the games. Now Frisch with a centering pass. That's broken up. Frisch centers it again. It's off a skate. And Gehring out to dive on the loose biscuit.
Well, Awada coming in with a stick at the same time as Gehring is still down on the ice, holding on to make certain he has it. But Gehring, I think, sensed that Awada was coming in from behind, so he wanted to grab onto it. Awada looking for something to come loose. You can see Stewart in front. He's tied up pretty well at that point. No place to go. The puck is comes a little bit wide here, and watch Awada looking to knock it out of the glove. There's where your problems start, when the guys start taking the swings at the goaltenders once the puck has been covered.
And from the face-off, battle for the puck continues to the corner, and Vig picks it up. The Bismarck native plays it ahead, but it's intercepted. Now it hits Ulmer, and it comes back to Murphy. Murphy chased by Noga, but a great pass to Ulmer. He's got Calder alone. Leitza diving across with a big paddle to knock it away. Boy, that had goal written all over it, and McLaughlin gets it to center ice. Rosinski, a nice play to Goulet. A drop in the slot to Noga, and his shot was knocked away by Gehring. Ulmer again, and we get a little bit of end-to-end stuff now. McLaughlin at center with under a minute to go in the period, dumps it down. And Murphy is the first man backboard. He slips and falls, but Calder will help him out. Ulmer to center, and then dumped in by Henderson. Leads it to Bailey, both teams changing. Bailey to center. To the North Dakota line, and he is wrestled down, and then wrestled down hard by Murphy. Up the middle, Bakari. That shot blocked by Henderson. Now Maristoon battles to get control of the puck, but he is forced back out at center. The Wolf ahead, they work it back in. Bailey played it to the middle, it's batted down, it's centered. Bailey alone, walking, waiting. His shot tipped away by Gehring. Maristoon tried to stuff it in, but Williamson was there to break it up. And a valiant effort for the Huskies. Boy, had been able to score in the last period, they would have been in mighty good shape. Right now, they're down by 2.
Frank, they had some good chances here in the latter part of this period, about the last 45 seconds, but they could not connect on any of them. And that gave them a little bit more life. They're looking for something as they go into the dressing room for the end of this second period and await the start of the third period. You'll watch the play by Murphy here. Nice pass as he draws everyone to him, and all of a sudden it becomes a 2-on-1. You'll see the little pass across here, a little bit off balance though. Adam Calder trying to get himself in position to get better wood on that, but just could not regroup a little bit as he had to move the skates a little bit too quick and didn't get the shot to go where he wanted it to.
Huskies head off the ice. George Awada, who played high school hockey for his assistant coach, now Tom Serratori, will be with us live. Has the Fighting Sioux ahead by a score of 3-1 after 40 minutes of play, but they need to be wary of the Huskies, who started to rally late in that period, and the Huskies did a good job of rattling against Minnesota Duluth last night.
Frank, they absolutely did, and you watch the Huskies right now. We saw that little flurry near the end. They could not put anything into the net, and they were looking, excuse me, they were looking for something to come in here as they went to that second in the dressing room after the end of the second period, hoping for a little bit of maybe enthusiasm for the third period. They need 2 goals here in the third period, but they've done a pretty good job of containing North Dakota as much as they have.
The Fighting Sioux got the first 2 goals of the second period, and that both of them were on power plays.
power plays will kill you. You watch right here all of a sudden as he takes a shot across here. The save is made by Litsa. It flies up in the air here, but at the same time, you got to stay in on top of that goal, and that's going to be Wes Dory who gets credit for the goal. The assist will go to Adam Calder and also to Matt Henderson.
Then Jason Blake on the power play would get his 23rd goal of the year, off the pipe and in.
This is a nice play right here because he sets himself up to take that pass across from Jeff Panzer. David Hookstein also get an assist, but you knew full well we get that power play goal to make it 3-0. They thought they were going to be on a route coming at 10:37.
He's not playing to the camera there. That's where the North Dakota fans are sitting. George Owada gets the lone Husky goal.
Well, he set himself also in that slot area, and a nice play by Stewart. Frisch will get the other assist on it, but Stewart makes a nice play right out to Owada, who scores his 15th goal of the season.
Grain Belt scoring summary: Wes Dory from Calder and Henderson. Then Panzer and Hookstein assist on Blake's power play goal. Stewart and Frisch got the 2 assists on the goal by George Owada. That one coming at 16 minutes and 38 seconds of the period. So the St. Cloud State Huskies are a resilient bunch, perhaps tired after playing last night, but they started to pick it up just a little bit towards the end of the third period, towards the end of the second period. Let's see if it carries on to the third when we return to the Bradley Center on MSC. I'm Frank Mazzacco at the Bradley Center, and thanks for joining us here on MSC. The first of 2 games today, 7:35, 7 o'clock actually. Let's get it really straight here. 7:30 tonight for the start of the show. 7:35 face-off for the second semifinal game. We hope you will be with us. There, a look at some telltale numbers. The Huskies have a little trouble rallying when trailing after 2, but the Fighting Sioux are relentless when they have the lead. They have not given up a lead to lose the game all year long. Vig from center plays it ahead, and Blake brings it in over the line. Blake with a shot right on, and Brian Litsa will have to be near perfect here in this third period with a 2-goal deficit. Let's return to the New Dodge Challenge. First for the Huskies.
Well, we talked about the Huskies staying in step with the Fighting Sioux. They've done a pretty good job of it at this point. Shots on net are quite a bit different here, but their skating has been, I think, a point, Frank, that have kept them pretty well in check. But they have not stayed on the ice. 2 power play goals has certainly hurt this hockey club. They trail by the 2 goals at 3-1 right now. North Dakota, on the other hand, they have played pretty well their own game. They did not get going in the first 2 periods the way I thought they would. They haven't really used their speed a great deal, but that may yet still come here in the third period.
Williamson, a nice job to block it at the point, and then it's played back up at center for Owada. He is being watched there by Hammer, and Hammer takes him right down. Hammer did a good job of recovering and preventing that Owada breakaway. Here's Owada centering it. That hit the skate of Williamson. Now Henderson has it. For North Dakota to the St. Cloud line. He gets in, and then he was upended. That was a very good defensive play by Josh DeWolf. Now George Owada to center. Rips one off the skates of Williamson, and it goes in deep where Hammer is checked by Owada. Williamson after the puck. Calder has it. Goulet in on him, and it's up on the far side now and played by Jeff Ulmer to center. Ulmer carries it in and then was stripped of the puck. Goulet can't get it out. Jeff Panzer keeps it alive, and Curtis Murphy drives it right back in. We are just underway in the third period. North Dakota, with 1 in the first and 2 in the second, has a 3-1 lead. Puck jumped away from Ulmer, and it's back out at center. And now they shoot it in again. And Litsa out for a skate and leaves it for Rosinski. Puck gets through everybody. Murphy throws it high to get it back in. Pass broken up. Hookstein after it. Now it's back out at center. Klasnick had to turn and circle to go get it, but could never catch up. And now it's off Klasnick's skate at center ice, and it goes deep in the zone. Murphy, first man of the puck, and he lays it back for Mitch Big. Big out to center ice. Little sidestep there by Jay Panzer. Gets some help from Big, and Big dumps it in the zone. From behind the net, McLaughlin gets the return from Sampere, but they mishandle it. In deep, Hookstein centers it, and a nice block, a very nice play by Vakari. Hookstein upended in the slot. Armbrust gets a piece of it. Hookstein goes to shoot, and he was well covered by Peter Torsen, who forced a soft shot and the save then by Litsa. Ryan Lefevre has talked to both coaches before this period started.
That's right, Frank. I talked to Craig Dahl first, and he said simply we have to play like we did last night. We need a third period where we come out and just outplay the opponent. Simply put, that's what St. Cloud has to do. St. Cloud's a little worried about their defense being having the ability of holding up the Fighting Sioux forwards on the forecheck. The forwards are getting through and putting too much pressure on the Huskies. As for Dean Blaze and the Fighting Sioux, they know that St. Cloud came back from 3-1 last night. Dean Blaze says they're just going to try and keep it simple. Dump it into the St. Cloud zone, get it out of their own zone. Don't play a hockey game with this team because they came back last night. Frank and Tom?
Ryan, thanks.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did in the first 2.5 minutes of this period, Frank. When you look at North Dakota, they just got the puck, got to the red line, just keep dumping it in all the time, then force the play, trying to force the Huskies defense off the puck and maybe get an opportunity to get the shot to the netminder.
And again, that's what Bull did on this last rush up the rink. Armbrust in the corner, McLaughlin on him. Whacked at by Dory, he goes down. And then it's centered, but taken away by Maristu. Out to center ice for Anderson. Keith Anderson waits, tried to play it in deeper, but it hit Trevor Hammer. A couple of outstanding freshmen there. Keith Anderson and Trevor Hammer. Frisch in trouble at center. And back to pick it up now is Parrish. Fires a pass to the line. That's broken up. Williamson playing it right back. And now here comes Blake. Blake lost the puck. Parrish headmans it to Frisch. He is stopped there by Murphy, but Blake comes back for the loose puck to gain control. Took a hit from Frisch, and Murphy generates the offense. Nice move by Defoe. Big save by Litza. Big Brad Defoe. Oh, Litza robs Murphy. Murphy batted that one out of the air, and Litza was right there. Here's Big centering it. A backhand shot goes high. Lee Gorin breaking in from the wing. Here's Blake to Gorin. They center it. Litza got a piece of it, but not control. And it's back to Big at the line. Screen shot hits Litza. Big rebound. They center it. All alone Defoe. He scores. The Fighting Sioux were relentless, and they tuck it in on the backhand for a 5-1 lead.
Well, the pressure was on there, Frank. You could just see something was going to take place. Defoe had two good chances, finally capitalizing on the second of the two chances about 30 seconds apart. But it was a pressure that you talked about and getting onto that puck first and making it work for them. Defoe doing a good job of planting himself in front of that net, scoring his 9th goal of the season. You watch the chances here that the Fighting Sioux had. You see Litza here, not a lot of defense back there to help him. He goes down, he's still down. He's able to get back up in position, but watch what happens as he makes a first save. He loses his balance here momentarily. He can't get back in position to get to Defoe. And Defoe does a good job of just taking the puck. Good shot by Vig also. Right on the money, good rebound. And that little play right there makes it all happen by Gorin, who just had a little pass over to Defoe, puts it in. And the Fighting Sioux have taken a 3-goal lead with a 4-1 score. That goal coming at 4:34 of the third period.
And with that scoring play, 10 of the 12 forwards for North Dakota have picked up points. The only multiple point guy in the entire roster is Wes Dory, who has a power play goal and an assist. Back out at center. And here's Williamson to get the puck. Huskies force him right back. Hammer to Williamson. And now back to Henderson. Blasted down to the ice on a check by Klasnick. There's going to be a delayed penalty coming up. Mike Schmidt spotted a hold, holding the stick actually. And so we'll have a power play. I'm not sure which way it's going. We'll get you updated in a moment.
Something on the power play is going to be called for holding the stick. Look on the left side of your screen. Good call by the official.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Ulmer called as he wanted a piece of two sticks, I guess, as Peter Thorson was trying to break away from there, but was not going to be let go.
Third power play of the game, and a shot from Stewart in the slot, and a goal. And the Huskies back within two. A huge goal.
It really is, and I'll tell you, that shot was labeled too, going into the top corner. It's coming at 5 minutes and 52 seconds, so there was less than 20 seconds on the power play, 18 seconds to be exact, and they made no mistake about it. He just took that shot from about 25 feet out in the slot area. Look at that top corner. You can see Goring trying to get to the puck, could not do so. Stewart putting that puck into that nice pass, also coming up from that corner area from Rosinski, making the pass out. The other assist will go to number 16, Matt Noga. So the Huskies have battled back here. They trail by just 2.
And this line has really accounted for a lot of the scoring. Jason Stewart with his second point. He has a goal and an assist. This time it's on the power play. And at center, as we're back to even strength, that's brought in by Hoogstein, who fires. That's kicked out by Litsa. And tracking it down is Mike Rosinski. Loose puck in the corner to Goulet, up the middle, Parrish. That was broken up by Jeff Panzer. They work it quickly to Hoogstein. Nice interception by Goulet. And he flips it in. That's off a stick of Williamson. And brought ahead by Hoogstein again. Hits the line, tries to get around Parrish, centers it. And Parrish right there to sweep it away. Tell you, there's a lot of time in this game, 13 minutes, and St. Cloud State very much in it. Anderson breaking in. If they can keep their legs about them, they'll be okay. Maristoon to Bailey. Now back to the line for Lund. High shot, and it's gloved, but there's trouble there for Gehring, and play is called. Huskies pressing and nearly made it a 1-goal difference here on MSC.
He had to come up with some big saves right here. You can see he makes the initial save. The puck actually squirted away from him just before that. And the referee, Mike Schmidt, in there to blow the whistle as the puck finally goes underneath the fallen goaltender.
We've hit the 7-minute mark of the third period. Here's Awada and Vig behind the net. Vig trying to shovel it away, couldn't get it out. Played right back in. And Stewart battling in the corner. Here's Frisch after it. Frisch is checked by Bull and knocked down. And the puck is underneath Jesse Bull, so Mike Schmidt calls the play again. Stewart's 14th of the year. 5:52, the power play goal. Makes that power play clicking at 1 for 3 for the Huskies today. We'll go back and revisit our Toyota trivia question, looking for the 3 All-Americans from the 1987 National Championship team for North Dakota. I'll go for the slam dunk here, Tom, and it was the Herkus Circus year, so Tony Herkus would certainly be in there. And Ian Kidd, and you get the third one.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have no idea.
Bob Joyce.
Oh boy, I would not have guessed that.
No, and we should have been able to.
You're right.
We had 3 All-Americans on one team. What an outstanding team that was, too. Now Defoe. Bull in front, right, got Blake in front. Litsa plays it away. Maristoon turns it around in a hurry. Here's Keith Anderson bringing it in. Anderson throws it back out to center, and the Huskies will have to regroup. Here's Blake. Moves in. And then Blake was blasted by Anderson, and Anderson has the puck. Crosses center, dumps it down. Boy, you could hear that smack all over the building.
Boy, 6'2", 200 pounds, has some pretty good speed up too, as the freshman out of Thief River Falls just nailed Blake just inside the St. Cloud State blue line.
Puck tipped by Noga at center. Williamson back to get it. Huskies need to keep their legs moving and avoid the mistakes. But it's brought back in by the defenseman Hammer. He shoots it high. Loved by Litsa. He wants to turn it around in a hurry. Goulet. Parrish. And he lobs it in. Now Gehring, had trouble with it. Or did he? Was he just stick handling nicely?
No, he had trouble with it.
Noga waiting for the puck to come to him in the corner. Rosinski takes the hit. Noga roughs it up a little bit with Ulmer. And it's jabbed away by Hammer. Adam Calder lifts it high in the air. And he'll be back in St. Cloud territory. Coming up on 11 minutes left. Henderson in the forecheck. And now the outlet pass by Parrish goes in the air. Brought in by Stewart. Stewart, a beautiful drop. Awada shot right on, and Gehring makes the save. The Huskies made that transition nicely and had an explosive rush, but it was shut down by the goaltender. A little bit of a rally going here for the Huskies. Hoogstein to center ice for North Dakota. Jeff Panzer bringing it in, and Hoogstein breaking ahead on the left wing was offside. Face-off back out at center. Well, you heard the last pop. That will turn into be our Farm Bureau collision of the game.
And Jason Blake, as you watch it once again, looking around where he's going to go with the puck. But watch Anderson come across here, and all of a sudden they just connected, and you could see right away that he was going down. He was going fast, and he was going heavy.
Yes, he was. A good pop. Hoogstein and Stewart, or they're going to toss Stewart out of there.
Just 10:48 to go in the third period here. The North Dakota Fighting Sioux leading by 2 goals, and this is where the Huskies know there's nothing to save it for. There's no tomorrow they don't win this game, and so we saw them with a great effort in the third period last night against the Bulldogs to advance to this game. Now they need something else here. Craig Dahl knows full well that he's going to have his work cut out for him, but these guys have got to pick up the pace, even though they may be a little bit tired.
Back behind the net and around to the near side for Ryan Frisch. Stewart behind the net. Now it's a quick centering pass. It's at the crease, a scramble. Gehring got the glove on it just in time as that one came fluttering up on him. They've hit him in the stick or skates too on the way up.
Well, this is really the first time we've had any confrontation between these teams in today's game. Gehring was losing his balance there also as he's trying to cut across in front of the net, knowing full well that he had the puck pretty well tied up in his pads. Didn't want to get him beyond that line. You watch the play as it goes back out in front here. A little shot will come from the side. Look where Gehring is holding that pipe as it deflects up there. He's got it now. Now he doesn't want to go back to the net. He wants to make sure he goes to the side to get it away from that goal line so that if he doesn't get hit, it doesn't go over the line.
Fighting Sioux are calling a timeout. They want to gain a little more control of this game, more than just the 2-goal margin they have on the scoreboard. So while they talk it over, we'll take a break on MSC. Cloud State Huskies have played in Final 5 or 4 competitions 6 previous times, and 5 of the 6 have been decided by a goal, including last night's overtime win over Minnesota Duluth. They just like to take their fans by the rope and track them around, beat them up in these 1-goal games.
Oh, you saw Craig Dahl. He looked pretty relaxed behind the bench there.
Mike Maristoon goes in for the draw on the face-off, but Blake was there to dig it out and win it. Williamson played it up on the far side, but not out of the zone. A nice play on the far rail. I think that was Stewart there. Actually, that was Keith Anderson. And that puck might have been played with a glove hand.
I think it's called a hand pass there, so that'll bring the face-off outside the zone. Watch it. Here's a puck right in, and watch the hand and see what happens with it. There, the little,
Whoa,
pretty close.
A micro pass.
Yep. That only the official saw.
But it was the right call. Again, it'll be Blake, this time Maristoon, and Maristoon wins the face-off. Vakari shooting it in. Halfway through the third period exactly. North Dakota 4, St. Cloud State 2. And Blake gets it in the air to get it out of the zone, and McLaughlin back to pick it up. Pass nearly picked off by Defoe. Anderson, boy, they're relying on this freshman a lot. And then Bailey upended at the line, and here comes Blake again, dumping it in. And the Fighting Sioux sent 2 men hard on the puck. Vakari held up, roughed up, nearly lost his helmet. And a battle on the rail again for Defoe. Blake in to dig out the loose puck. It's Defoe, Gorin, and Blake up front right now for North Dakota. At the line, a nice block by Hammer. And Blake back to Hammer. His shot, that hit Maristoon. And the check on the far side thrown by McLaughlin. And a hit there by Vakari. Not quite a hit, but a nudge. But he still hurt the North Dakota player, and
that's Gorin.
That's Gorin.
Yeah, he caught him pretty good as he went into the boards there, and Gorin is still down on the ice. It looked like he, I'm not sure if he hit the shoulder or what happened to him there, whether he just lost his wind, but he's still feeling the effects of that right now.
Greg Shepard and I had a conversation about the checking from behind penalty.
Watch right here, coming in there, that little push, and it's more of a push than anything else, but you can still get a lot of pressure as Bakari had some speed moving in there. And whatever it was, it appears that he will be all right.
I don't want to diminish his pain because that, I'm sure, hurt, but that was not a real hard hit. Caught him in the wrong spot, and it was a bit from behind, but I have a feeling that's one reason why the penalty wasn't called there, is that it wasn't a real hard hit. And I'm sure there are some North Dakota fans that are saying it doesn't matter, it should be whistled down. It's a really tough spot for the officials to be in. Shepard, I think, would like to see him called. I know the coaches would. Coaches have asked for that penalty to be called so much that I think even if a minor one was called, there wouldn't be an awful lot of argument. They wouldn't have much ground to stand on. They have asked for that penalty. Here's Owada. He lost control of it, and Murphy plays it away. Now Henderson, and one more point, if I may. When you look at a situation like that in slow motion, it looks as if it's a full-strength hit, no matter how hard or soft the check is. Jay Panzer centers it, and it's back to Owada at center, but he's covered by Vig. And now Matt Henderson with the puck, and the Fighting Sioux will regroup. Whoa, Williamson put that one out of play. It just missed the edge of the glass there. Unfortunately, missed all of the spectators as well.
Well, I think it hits one of those spectators. It got somebody there. But that puck just missed the corner of the rink, and
well, while they sort things out there, let's take a look at the 5 WCHA teams that are in contention for a national bid. These ratings will give you an indication of how close they are, with 12 teams ranked that will be going, and only with Minnesota Duluth there on the bubble. Back out at center ice, it'll be picked up and shot in by Rusinski. Hammer after it. It's centered. Here's Hoogstein to pick it up. And now Panzer again. Flipping it in.
North Dakota just content right now. They seem to be just dumping it in the corner, then trying to force the issue in the fire zone. You're going to see St. Cloud State also trying to get someone in behind the Fighting Sioux defense to see if they get a little bit of a breakout here and get some opportunities at the opposite end.
Loose at the side. Litsa goes down. Now he reaches out and grabs onto that puck. Well, a 2-goal lead for North Dakota, but it is not a comfortable lead.
No, it's not at all. One goal. The next goal obviously is the key goal here right now, and Litsa and his teammates would like nothing better than to be able to get that goal, but they got to get the puck down to the opposite end. There's a look at Curtis Murphy, as we talked about. It's just been a tremendous asset to this club with the Fighting Sioux as a one of those senior members out of Caribert, Saskatchewan. 42 points in the season coming in here. 34 he leads in the assist department with the Fighting Sioux.
Up on the far side, it's Anderson to try to get it out. Blake, who got a power play goal, tried to push it in deeper, and that power play goal by Blake is the 101st career point as a member of the Fighting Sioux. Here is Merstoon shooting. The shot goes wide of the target. Gorin takes a check. He's trying to protect the puck, which seems to hang up on the dasher here at the Bradley Center quite a bit. I think we have just a little bit of a wider dasher.
He seems to be okay getting back on the ice right now. He's a draft choice by the Boston Bruins back in 1997 in the 3rd round. And a lot of people picked him as a preseason possibly the Rookie of the Year. But his teammate, the goaltender, is the guy who certainly gets those accolades, and rightfully so, Carl Gehring, who just had a tremendous year for the Sioux.
Right, I think didn't the coaches vote Gorin the preseason Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
There were a couple of others. I believe Brent Voorhees from Colorado College, who we'll see this evening. was in the running there. And we await the faceoff. Loose puck in the slot. It'll be picked up by Vig. Out to center ice, and Ulmer spun off the puck. And Murphy goes back for it, but it'll be a delayed offside here. Make that an icing, if you will. We'll go all the way back for a faceoff, back into Husky territory. And the clock becoming a factor with 6:24 to go.
Yeah, and that's where you may see some of those long passes coming from the stick of the Husky defense, trying to get the puck up ice as quick as they can to move the puck in a forward motion. There's a little hit there, almost a little bit of a trip there, perhaps not called, but no damage done as the faceoff now comes back to the St. Cloud State zone with 6:24 to go in the third period. And North Dakota leading by a score of 4-2.
Shots are 8-7 in this period in favor of North Dakota. Awada after it. Murphy to pick it up. Fires it ahead. It's tipped in by Henderson. DeWolf got a piece of it. Now he'll have to come back and get the rest of it. Out to center. And Ulmer battles to get the puck.
Nice defensive play by Ulmer, just coming right back in to help out to get to that puck and then have his teammates give him the opportunity to move it back up ice again.
Murphy brings it in and shoots it. A big save by Litsa. Parrish relays it to center. Ulmer with a big hit. Vig turns it around, dumps it in. And Litsa leaves it behind the net. This is DeWolf, but Calder with a hard forecheck breaks up the rush and nearly took the puck away. DeWolf again. Got it as far as the line as his stick was checked. It's up the middle. Panzer's shot was blocked, and Panzer was tied up on the play. Now to center for Matt Noga. 3 Huskies bring it in. It's centered, but it hits a couple of skates, and Noga really had to battle through the check of Jay Panzer, and then Ulmer involved in a collision. Here's Williamson to get it. Coming up on 5 minutes left, as you see, in the third period. This is regulation time of this semifinal playoff game. Williamson playing it around Rusinski. Panzer trying to get it out. It's loose up the middle to Bailey. He whacks it in front again. Broken up by Hammer, but still in the zone. Then Lund was stripped of the puck, and a big hit again by Anderson at the blue line. He sort of just runs over guys. Litsa with a long outlet pass. Maristoon drops it back, and Anderson rebound. And good coverage in front of the net by Murphy, preventing the shot by Bailey. Now Blake roaring back in. Tries to get around to Wolf. Leads to the big save, a rebound to save. And Maristoon works it behind the goal line. Now he can't get by Blake, but gets some help. It's still in the zone. The turnover to far. Shooting, it's deflected. And Leitza makes the save. He holds on. So we got it going at both ends in the final 4.5 minutes of this, the third period.
By the Fighting Sioux, you see Defoe the puck. Well, look where Gorin goes. He goes right to the net, tries to get a piece of it. A little deflection there, and Leitza coming up with a big solid save there as Defoe takes that shot, deflection in front, and Leitza with the puck.
Boy, right from the face-off, the Fighting Sioux work it to the side of the net. Then actually it hops up on the back of the net. So we'll have another face-off, and again it'll be to the right of Leitza.
Well, 4:10 to go in this third period right now. Shots on net by North Dakota 44, by St. Cloud State 21. That stoppage of play will bring the face-off outside the St. Cloud State zone.
The game's been closer to that.
Yeah, it has
been. You know, some people might think you're a little wacko for saying that, but
well, they think I'm wacko anyways. Yeah, but it has been, Frank. You got to look at the quality of the shots too. I mean, we've seen a fair amount of shots come from way outside the perimeter here. This is where St. Cloud State has got to pick up a little bit more, and at the same time, they know they're going to be tested here pretty well by the Fighting Sioux because they don't want to give up any ground. A little bit of a shoving match going right now with George Awada from St. Cloud State. Getting into it a little bit, I believe that was with Tom Lund.
There's been very little nonsense after the whistle, and with those couple of pushes there, it's kind of an indication that it's a hotly contested third period here, and it has been. With just about 4 minutes to go in regulation. A goal by the Fighting Sioux could just about put this one away, and then a goal by St. Cloud, however, on the other hand, would sort of make it look like last night all over again. When they rallied for a couple of goals in the third, forced the overtime, and then Matt Bailey tucked it in at 3:40 of the overtime. Now we'll line up for the face-off once more. Ulmer against Stewart. Puck goes right up the middle. It's forced to the blue line by Frisch, but not out. Now he'll get some help from Lund. Lund slashed down to the ice, and he gets the puck in over the line. And Murphy stumbles a bit, but delivers it to Calder. The pass is behind Henderson. And that pass, bad pass, was broken up through the checking effort of Ryan Frisch, who battles for it now at the blue line. But it comes to Ulmer anyway. He just dumps it in. Litsa to Stewart, the Fighting Sioux making a change. Stewart from center dumps it down, and the Huskies will make a change. Down to the last couple of minutes and the last couple of shifts of the game. Here's Hammer playing it right back out. And played out by Williamson. Hoogstein has it. Trying to get around Parrish. Making a rush to the side of the net. And Parrish, a good job to cut him off. Now Jay Panzer tied up by DeWolf. And it comes loose. Noga with a pass, and they get it ahead to Goulet. Might be a 3-on-2, but a good defensive play by Williamson slows it up and shuts it down. Now a loose puck behind the net. Gehring has to be careful. Goulet. It's up on the near rail, actually on the dasher, and knocked down and cleared to center. 2.5 minutes left. And a whistle at center ice.
I'm not
stop
sure
the play.
I'm not sure why they stopped the play there. I couldn't quite tell. The puck was along the dasher there. It may have been a hand pass. I'm not quite sure, but nonetheless, it will be just on the Fighting Sioux side of that center ice line. 2:29 to go in the third period. 2-goal lead by North Dakota.
This puck leaves the rink once again, and Mike Schmidt right involved in the play there. And here's a guy who was a very busy man last weekend, Mike Schmidt, involved in 3 very contentious games, 2 between Minnesota and Minnesota Duluth. And then Sunday was given the dubious honor of going down to the third-place game between St. Cloud and Michigan Tech, and that was a penalty-filled affair once the score was decided. He had to work his tail off last weekend. This has been a very placid game. I don't know if we had a penalty in the third period.
Just one for holding a stick, that's all.
It's a pretty minor call, and 2 of the other penalties called in the game have been for too many men on the ice.
Oh boy, that puck went through the crease. Litsa was able to see that one, but I didn't think he realized how close that was going to be to the pipe.
Now it gets away from Murphy. Under 2 minutes to go, and we'll keep an eye on Litsa. The Huskies need 2 to tie this one. Murphy behind the net. He'll stay there all day if they let him. And now he's chased by Awada. Oh, but Awada forces the turnover. It's in the slot to Frisch. He shoots and scores! Ryan Frisch brings the Huskies within 1.
Have we seen this picture before someplace?
I think we may have at the same picture show. Well, you've got to give some credit to the forecheck of the Huskies, as Murphy was patient and perhaps too patient.
Yeah, he was. I think he was talking. He was thinking to himself, you know, I'll just slow things back here, Frank. And finally, he had to move the puck. But Frisch is going to get credit for the goal, doing a nice job of staying right inside. Lots of water coming in here. He gets a piece of the puck initially as Murphy tries to go to the short side here. All of a sudden, the puck comes right back in, and Frisch just turns and just one-times it. And you could see how deep that Gehring was in the net also, so it gave him a lot more room to be able to put that puck into the net. But they trail by just 1 now with 1.5 minutes to go in the third period.
All right, they're still handing out the rest of the assists. We'll just give it to Frisch right now, his 4th, and then update you in a moment as it's played in by Frisch again. Hammer after the puck. They're pulling Litsa for the extra skater. Now here is a pass intercepted by Henderson. Matt Noga is the extra skater as the puck is played in deep. 6 St. Cloud skaters, they have to touch up and didn't realize it. That'll cost them time and perhaps possession. Loose to Stewart at center, a minute to go, and they dump it in. Remember last night they scored with just 5 seconds remaining. Here's Vicari, a screen shot. That's knocked down in front. A backhand goes wide of the target. It's centered again by Rusinski. Rusinski again, a point-blank try by Stewart. But the whistle goes. Mike Schmidt pointing, and perhaps that puck was on the back of the net. They have been calling that very quickly this year. As soon as the puck, oh, it's just totally loose. The goal is loose. My.
Well, Frank, you watch right here. The Huskies trying to get the puck back in front here. Vicari moving in there as well. Here's the shot coming, and Gehring is able to make the save, trying to stuff it in on the far side. And all of a sudden the whistle had gone, but this is probably the most excitement we've seen here in this game. But there's still some time here with 43.5 seconds showing on the clock, and the Huskies have come to life.
I'm not sure how that goal came loose, how that post came loose. Of course, becomes a factor in the closing 2 minutes. If it's deemed to be an intentional removal, it could result in a penalty shot. That because it would be a delay of game penalty, and there would not be enough time on the clock to serve the delay of game.
Well,
the timeout's been called by St. Cloud.
Craig Dahl's opportunity to rally his troops. We saw him do it last night, scoring with, I believe it was 4.2 seconds remaining on the clock to send the game into overtime. And right now we're going to see perhaps the same type of effort put on by the Huskies. 5 seniors on this club. They want to continue to play. Those seniors in the lineup tonight: Jason Stewart, Mike Maris-Stewin, Rob Klasnick, Andy Vicari, and also goaltender Brian Lietza. And I don't know if we mentioned earlier or not, but they are without the service of Sasha Moline, who is not in this game, and one of the big, could be one of the big scoring components for this Husky team, but broke his ankle in the game last Sunday at St. Cloud State.
The 3 officials a little lighthearted right now, but at the very start of that timeout, they were in a pretty serious discussion led by Mike Schmidt. So not only do the players set some strategy, but I'm sure the officials review some of their rules and determinations. What do you do in a situation like this? What kind of penalties are we going to call? What to look out for? And Lietza on the bench.
Who's she pointing to right now?
I don't know.
Who's going to get the goal?
Picked the overtime winner last night. We'll see if she's picked someone to tie this one. Remember, the Huskies last night tied the game with 5 seconds remaining. So 6,300 plus people here at the Bradley Center on a Friday afternoon making some noise. 43 and a half seconds to be precise left in regulation. It's a 1-goal game.
Face-offs are critical right now.
Noga and Henderson. 6 skaters up for the Huskies. A puck loose, and it's cleared nowhere near the goal, but some pressure applied by Henderson as DeWolf took a look, got it to Vicari. Now it's knocked down by Goulet. Then Goulet goes down. Henderson drops it back, and the Fighting Sioux playing a little keep away. A bad pass here picked up by Williamson. A long shot from the line, or from center ice by Calder, was broken up. Now perhaps a last rush led by Goulet. He is shut down at center. Ulmer gets a piece of it. Goulet right back again. We're down to 10 seconds. As Gehring is out. Oh, he puts it into the stands, and the faceoff will be in his end. 6.9 on the clock.
Well, I'll tell you, that's not what he was trying to do. He was trying to get the puck up high enough to play it off of the glass. And remember, a goaltender will be called for delay of game if he intentionally shoots it out of the playing surface to get a stoppage of play. But
that used to be an automatic call,
yeah.
But it's not anymore. If you didn't touch the glass, they gave him an automatic penalty. But that became a bit of a hard spot to call too. There are the face-offs, very close. Huskies with the edge. But the Huskies have won 7 of the last 9 face-offs. And now Stewart will remain in, and Calder very unhappy that he's being tossed. Stewart against Henderson.
DeWolf in that point position in case the puck comes back to him for the Huskies.
Bill Mason drops the puck. Henderson wins the face-off. It's Murphy behind the net, down to 2 seconds. A quick centering pass at the horn, and the Fighting Sioux survived another storm from the St. Cloud State Huskies, who come oh so close once again in the Final Five, but again they're one goal short. They will play for the third place trophy tomorrow afternoon, and the Fighting Sioux will find themselves in the championship game tomorrow night.
Well, Frank, these two teams battle all season long. They split the season series. In fact, the Huskies outscored the Fighting Sioux 14-12 over the 4 games. This game here is just a 1-goal difference as North Dakota is able to hang on as Huskies put on a lot of pressure near the end to win this game by a score of 4-3. And so with that in mind, the North Dakota Fighting Sioux will advance to the big game tomorrow. And for St. Cloud State, they will play in the third place game tomorrow, which is still pretty good. Their third game in 3 days, and these guys need to get some rest tonight.
One thing in favor of the Huskies is they go into that game tomorrow, they can enhance their national playoff picture with a win against either Wisconsin or Colorado College, whoever loses tonight's game. And to their credit, they were in this one right down to the wire. I think they've had so far a heck of a weekend, although they were a little flat first 2 periods last night. They have come on strong here. Credit to the champions. The Fighting Sioux had the big lead at 1.3-0. Hang on to win it, and we'll put a wrap on this one and set the stage for the second semifinal game a little bit later on tonight. Top in the first 2 games of the NSP WCHA Final Five, the Fighting Sioux, regular season champions this year, co-champions a year ago, going also now for the Broadmoor Trophy for the 2nd year in a row. They, they, as I am, struggled a little bit.
Well, Frank, they did it, and I think a lot of people thought they would have much more of an advantage going into this game, but the Huskies didn't let them really get on track. And we saw them in especially the first 2 periods. They didn't have that jump we normally see with the Fighting Sioux, and you have to credit the Huskies. Craig Dahl doing a good job of getting his team prepared, even though they may have been a little bit tired. But coming back there in the latter part of the third period, they made it a real goal for North Dakota.
And Dean Blaze has the boys huddled in the dressing room behind a closed door here for at least a 5-minute lecture, we think. Not the kind of hockey that Dean Blaze is like to coach. Thinks he'd like to see those guys skate just a little bit harder. All right, in either case, the matchups are set for the semifinal game tonight already. With Wisconsin, the higher seed, they'll be the home team not only in reality, but also with all of the fans here in Milwaukee, taking on Don Lucia's Colorado College Tigers. The game will be on the air at 7:30. Don't forget on MSC, the Sports Connection at 7 o'clock. For Ryan Lefevre and Tom Reed, I'm Frank Mazzacco. Hope you enjoyed the telecast. Hope you'll be back with us this evening for the second semifinal game on MSC, your ultimate sports connection.